Coming to you from the Lydia Media Studios in the heart of Lewiston, Auburn, it's Lydia's Lunch Bunch, LA's afternoon morning show with Mark, Sarah, and JC. We're covering news and events in the greater LA area and talking to the people making a difference in our community. Feel free to share your comments, questions, or suggestions via email at podcast@lydiamediallc.com.
And today's show is brought to you by Rupert's Beverage and Redemption. When it comes to beer, wine, and spirits, don't botch it, squatch it! At 4 locations in Lewiston, Auburn, and Oxford. Learn more at rupersbeverage.com, and remember, the party starts at Rupert's.
We are joined in studio today by local legend, Mr. Drew of Mr. Drew and His Animals Too. How are you?
Hard on both ends and soft in the middle.
All right.
I don't know what that means.
I'll try not to think about that too much. The last time you were here, you were moving out of your Lewiston location.
Right.
And now you have moved your operation to Poland, and you're getting ready for your grand opening.
Correct. We had to move out by July, and we had moved everything from Lewiston into Poland like within 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
We had everything over. That's 400 animals.
Wow.
Closures. I mean, that was a lot.
Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, that was just crazy. My staff pulled it off, volunteers. It was amazing. And we had a soft opening in October. So we've been open since October. But, it was just an amazing, I mean, in that amount of time, how much we got done. And we actually got in more than we had in Lewiston, and we expanded a lot of our cages, so we actually sized everybody up and, added more stuff. And it's like, I don't know how we did it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I do. I know I didn't have to do anything because summertime is my busiest time, and I'm on the road traveling, so I didn't move one damn thing. I added. It was like, all right, just where am I bringing the animals back to? And that was my responsibility of all of it.
I think that just goes to show what a beloved member of the community you are, that people turned out to help with that.
I was humbled, honored, floored, because when we got the news, it was unexpected. We were looking to expand in Lewiston, and they just said that, the mall owner who's in Ohio, they're like, you just don't fit our business model. We want more money, and you're not going to give it to us. And so it was kind of like, oh, right.
Well.
And so it put us in a pinch, and we looked desperately to stay in Lewiston, but there was just nothing that would work for our needs. Or, again, location's a factor, so it's like, oh, that would work, but it's not the greatest spot to be.
We will talk all about Mr. Drew's new location coming up here in just a bit, along with the grand opening celebration and what he offers out there in Poland. You got a lot of room there. As well, too.
That's great.
So we'll get to all of that in just a bit. But before we do, let's take a look at some headlines for Monday, January 12th.
St. Dominic Regional High School just received a $1 million donation from Don and Kathy Dion. The Dion Scholarship will be dedicated to Catholic students of French-Canadian heritage. Starting this school year, 40 scholarships worth $5,000 are expected to be awarded to both new and returning students.
The next Great Falls Forum will feature Lewiston City Administrator Brian Cainrath and new Chief of Police Carly Conley. The event is scheduled for Thursday from noon to 1 p.m. at Lewiston Public Library. Admission is free and reservations are only required if attending via Zoom. For more information, visit the Lewiston Public Library's Facebook page.
The Auburn Fire Department announced the anniversaries of the following staff members: Private Brian Martin with 24 years of service, Chief Robert Chase with 8 years, Private Janaka Sowell with 4 years, and Private Jacob Mills with 1 year.
The Maine Bureau of Highway Safety and Well Health Partners and the Lewiston Fire Department have partnered to offer a free car seat safety event. The event will take place on Thursday from 2 to 6 p.m. at the fire station at 55 North Temple Street. No appointment or registration is required.
Now it's time for the weather.
The weather? Rain or shine, it's all okay. Grab your uke and start the day. You don't need perfect skies above. Hey, just a song and a little love. Isn't it kind of funny that in Maine, 40 degrees feels warm? Like yesterday, I went out with just a a long sleeve t-shirt on, and I was like, gosh, it's so beautiful outside.
In the winter, it feels warm.
It was 40 degrees.
In July, not so much.
Not so much. Feels like winter again today. It was super windy this morning, and it's mostly cloudy today with a high of 32 and a low of 21. A sunny start to tomorrow before evening clouds will roll in, and we'll have a high of 37 and a low of 24. And more clouds on Wednesday with highs approaching 40. So, put your winter coat away.
Not quite yet. In sports, Patriots quarterback Drake May threw for 268 yards and a touchdown, and the Pats defense gave up just 207 total yards and sacked Justin Herbert 6 times. In a 16-3 playoff win over the San Diego Chargers, the Pats advanced to the divisional round and will host the winner of tonight's game between Houston and Pittsburgh. Victor Arvidsson scored, and Jonas Korpisalo stopped 27 shots as the Bruins beat the Pittsburgh Penguins 1-0. Boston will host the Detroit Red Wings tomorrow night. The Celtics visit the Indiana Pacers tonight at 7:30. The Maine Nordiques swept the New Jersey Titans out of Norway Savings Bank Arena over the weekend, winning 4-1 on Friday and 7-6 in overtime on Saturday. The Nords will take on the Philadelphia Rebels this weekend in Auburn. The Lewiston Maniacs beat Universal Academy 3-1 on Friday, and St. Stephen County Moose 5-0 on Saturday. The Maniacs hit the road to take on the New England Wolves on Thursday afternoon. The NA3 Nordiques will host the New Hampshire Junior Mountain Kings tomorrow at 1, and Central Maine Community College basketball will visit Word of Life in Pottersville, New York tomorrow. The women tip off at 6 and the men at 8. That is your news, weather, and sports. And right now it's time for the podcast segment that is Sweeping the Twin Cities. It's time for famous people birthdays.
They're famous. It's their birthdays. It's famous people birthdays. It's famous people birthdays.
Let's take a look at FPBs for January the 12th, shall we?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. We're going to start off with singer Zach De La Rocha of Rage Against the Machine, who is 56 years old today. He's best known for his left-wing politics in opposition to corporate America and the military-industrial complex and government oppression.
The machine.
Oh, the machine. Absolutely.
So it's not a toaster.
No.
No, that he's not talking about the dishwasher.
No. Zach, we need you now more than ever.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, maybe you can come back, put out a new album or something.
Yeah.
Singer and director Rob Zombie is 61 years old today.
You love him.
Real name, Robert Cummings. He's born in Haverhill, Mass. New England kid. Oh, Howard Stern.
Oh.
72 years. Oh, no, wait a minute.
No, he's definitely not the headliner.
He's not?
No, John Lasseter would be.
Oh, I was going to do John Lasseter now.
All right.
Should I not?
I feel like he's bigger than Howard Stern.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You think more people have heard of John Lasseter than Howard Stern?
I like him better.
I would like to make a request.
Okay.
Can I have a couple of tokes off whatever you're smoking? you think if you took 100 people, random people, put them in a room and said, who has heard of John Lasseter and who has heard of Howard Stern? You think there would be more hands up for John Lasseter?
No, I just like him better.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna side with Sarah on this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
who
know
he
the
is,
other
so-
guy, but I'm looking at this
like,
guy's movies, and I'm like,
know,
come
but-
on,
Wait a minute.
he made A Bug's Life.
You're also in your 20s. Howard Stern is 72. All right. So out of respect for Sarah and Jason, radio and TV personality Howard Stern is 72 years old today. You might have heard that he was on the radio for a little bit. He has described himself as the king of all media since 1992.
Maybe he is the headliner.
Very.
I mean, if
Maybe.
you self-describe yourself as the king, you must be the king, right?
Sure. I'm just going to sit this one out.
Right.
Sarah, take over.
No. I'm sorry.
Go.
Are we done with Howard Stern?
Are we? It sounds like we shouldn't have even included him.
My distaste for him aside, I think he is pretty famous. I'm sure you're right.
Hello.
Okay. John Lasseter is turning
Oh my God, John Lasseter!
69 today.
Oh my God, he's a legend.
He's an American filmmaker, screenwriter, and animator, and he works for Disney Studios. So he's done Cars and Toy Story and Bug's Life and Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3 and The Incredibles, and he is amazing.
Those are your FPVs. Now it's time for some OTDs. It happened on this day. It happened on this day. happened on this day?
Well, 23 years ago in 2003, B.G. Maurice Gibb died of a heart attack at the age of 53. 27 years ago in 1999, Britney Spears released her debut album, Baby One More Time. What was she, 5? 28 years ago in 1998, Carlos Santana became the first Hispanic inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Absolute legend.
That's pretty amazing.
Carlos Santana.
I think we're all in agreement there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised that he was the first.
Are we, Sarah?
Well, yep. 45 years ago in 1981, the
Wait, why is it amazing? Finish your thought.
No, I was going to say I'm just surprised that Richie Valens wasn't inducted first.
Oh.
I'm just surprised.
Yeah, good call.
I'm not in disagreement. I'm just saying I'm surprised.
Okay.
Maybe his name wasn't Hispanic enough.
I think he
Carlos Santana.
Hey.
Yeah,
Richie
I feel like
Valens.
Richie Valens actually changed his name
Yeah, just
too. I
kinda
can't
made
remember
up,
what it
so.
was, but 45 years ago in 1981, the original Dynasty premiered on ABC. It ran for 9 seasons and eventually got a reboot on the CW in 2017. 50 years ago in 1976, murder mystery writer Agatha Christie died at the age of 85 of natural causes, everyone. No worries. 55 years ago in 1971, All in the Family premiered on CBS.
What a groundbreaking show that was.
Yes.
Right?
I love that
That's
show.
when Norman Lear pretty much ran America.
He did well with it.
He took you behind the curtain. He showed you what families and real life was all about. I mean,
That's what made the show so groundbreaking. Was
Yeah.
it was everyday real life, but there was a humor involved that made us really stop and think and laugh and realize, holy cow, this is so real,
Yeah.
but yet funny at the same time.
Life is funny, that's why. 60 years ago in 1966, Adam West first donned his tight gray leotards when Batman premiered on ABC. Burt Ward played Robin, the boy wonder, and the Cape Crusaders fought crime for 3 seasons. Have you ever seen any of the fight scenes?
Oh,
It's like the Joker throws like streamers at Robin and it wraps him all up and he can't get out. Oh.
blam!
Holy guacamole, Batman!
And he's just covered in avocados.
Whack!
So funny.
Zam!
It was classic,
So
man. I
funny.
grew up watching that.
Oh, it's
that
great
that
stuff.
is the Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah, it is the original. This is not. Nobody else can take us. Val Kilmer, nope. I'm sorry.
I am the Batman. Those are your FPBs and OTDs for January the 12th.
Whether you want a sit-down meal or a grab-and-go, Pat's Pizza in Auburn offers delicious sandwiches, pasta, salads, and pizza at family-friendly prices. Pat's Pizza, serving the L.A. area since 1985. Open daily from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. at 85 Center Street in Auburn. Online at patsauburn.com.
Hi, it's Donna Harris from Phoenix No Limits Karate with your daily safety tip. If someone makes you uncomfortable, say no and walk away. Let's all do our best to keep our community safe.
Now, we shift focus fully to our guest in studio, Mr. Drew of Mr. Drew and His Animals 2 out there in Poland. His new location in Poland that has been open since October.
Mid-October, yes.
You're getting ready for a grand opening.
Yeah, we did a soft opening. We are going to be doing a grand opening the 17th and the 18th, which is going to be a 2-day thing. And technically Monday is Martin Luther King Day, so there's no school. So we'll just carry the party on over. But we have a lot of things going on, and all for a wonderful $10.
Goodness.
It's for 2-3 hours of entertainment and stuff.
awesome.
I mean, there's magicians and there's Mike the tarot guy who's been on.
Oh,
He
neat.
has. We love Mike.
Yeah, Mike has been on, and we're going to have all kinds of things going on throughout the day and activities and, special display, all kinds of stuff. We're just there'll be some food trucks available, and there's some wonderful, if you've never been to Poland, there's a lot of wonderful area restaurants. You've had Cindy Robbins here.
Yes.
And, there's Mel's Hilltop, and then there's Poland Provision. What a wonderful little place. There's None Such Brewery, and Daddy-O's Diner is very good as well. So there's a lot in the area.
Great. Now we're all hungry.
Where's Daddy-O's Diner?
It's technically in Mechanic Falls. It's at the Five Corners. So basically, you're right on the edge of Poland and Mechanic. It used to be, I think, called Etc.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But they have a location in Oxford as well. And then they have this one on Route 11, which is fantastic.
And Drew, you have been an institution in this community for decades now, right?
Did you say I should be in an institution?
It might have sounded like that.
Okay.
I don't think that's what he
That's
meant.
not what I said or meant.
Well, I wouldn't disagree.
But you started here in the Lewiston Auburn area.
Many years ago.
Many years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that long ago, but it was. Yeah, we started out of our house is where it started. And, as time went on and I was traveling more and gathering more animals, people were like, "Can we come to your house to see the animals?" And it was like, "No." I don't
We're
know.
having dinner.
I don't know who you are, and my neighbors don't like a lot of cars in the yard. So, so it was kind of a what if, and here we are, 15 years later, going, oh my God, we're still making it up as we go. So,
And for folks who are living under a rock, can you just give us an overview of what it is exactly that you do and what the center is all about?
right. So we are an education center. We're like a children's, I wouldn't say child, I'd say family museum, because we have a lot of adults who come in without kids. But we are very focused on natural history, and we're an exotic rescue. So we take in what the Humane Society will not. If it's cute and fluffy, we don't do it. We do have a few cute and fluffy things, but we don't do that. We take in the creepy, crawly, scary, the things that people don't understand, the things that a lot of people are scared of. And I work with the state of Maine, not for the state of Maine, but with the state of Maine as a consultant, helping with the laws, training wardens on this stuff because they have to enforce the laws. And so we take in lizards, snakes, spiders, turtles, most of them exotic. One of the big things is I'm a firm believer that Maine woods, Maine waters belong to Maine animals. And since these are exotics, they don't belong outside. So if I'm not taking them in, people are either rehoming them to people who have no idea, or they're releasing them, and we're trying to avoid all that. So we take those in, but we decided to because people were always saying, "Can we see the animals?" Like, well, what if? And then we expanded onto with geology. And then we started doing because I just collected, I had rock collections and stuff, and it was sitting in my basement. So it's like, well, let's just add this to the mix. And then I had skulls that I had prepared and natural history stuff. And I'm like, well, let's just add this to the mix. And so now we have 10,000 square feet with all kinds of natural history stuff. We have a cave for kids to dig in. They get to take home fossils, crystals, shark's teeth. We have a marine touch tank now that's new, and a coral reef tank. And that allows us to talk about the Gulf of Maine, how it's the fastest warming body of water and the changes that are going on. We can bring it up into real time. We can talk about the devastations of the coral reefs, because all the corals we have in there were raised right here in Maine, locally. None of them were taken from the wild. I mean, so somewhere along the way they were, but I mean, ours were actually propagated here in captivity. And so we can talk about those things. We have a lot of animals that are illegal because we have permits that allow us to keep them and use them in education. And I relocate a lot of these animals out of the state of Maine. So if you've ever been to Living Shores Aquarium in Storyland, their reptile collection, not all of it, but a big part of it came from me. So that's what we do, is we take these animals and we find them places that they can be used in education, where they're going to get vet care. And, so we don't adopt out but we get them to, so I move animals all over the country.
Is it fair to say that the reason you are taking in all these animals and rehabilitating them and rehoming them is because a lot of people are not educated about these animals?
Well, it is. Animals in general, because the way I explain it is, if you look at the Humane Society, right, cats and dogs primarily, every town has a shelter. So there's a lot more cats and dogs that are being rehomed or moved out or given up on than the animals I work with. There's only one other place in Maine that does what I do, but they can only do the legal animals. They can't do, and they adopt them out. I avoid that. So, but education's a big part, and I do travel the entire state of Maine, from literally York to Madawaska. I do New England and virtually around the world, talking about these animals, explaining about them, responsibility, care, proper, things. And I tell people, I'm a free resource. I'm not selling you anything. So before you get that, because a lot of parents that get young kids, and the kids are like, Mom, Dad, I want
a pixie frog?
Fill in the blank, whatever it is. And, they'll look it up online. And they'll be, all right, well, let's go to that big box store and see what they got to say. And, they're there to sell you stuff.
Right.
And so, I won't. I'll tell you everything bad about an animal. I'll tell you everything good. I mean, I'll tell you the pros and cons, and I'll be honest, and I'll, make sure you fully understand what you're getting involved with. I'll talk you out of animals. I mean, I am a big proponent of not getting turtles and tortoises as pets because a lot of parents will say to me, oh, my kid wants a reptile. But I don't want to feed rodents and I don't want to feed bugs. So snakes and lizards are out. How about we get a turtle? How hard can it be? And it's like, they're more work than you think, and your child's going to get bored real quick of them. Yeah. And, we average 200 or more a year through my center because parents think it's an easy option. And then, then they just give up on them. You're talking an animal can live 50, 60, 70, 100, 200 years, right. What makes you think your child's attention span's going to be there? And, that's, 200 years is 8 generations. That's a great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchild. We as adults cannot guarantee the future of our one child, let alone 8 generations of children. And it's not fair to the animal or the people.
Yeah.
So,
Drew, I'm curious because ever since I've known you, I have been introduced to animals that I've never seen before in my life. I've held them, I've pet them, I've let them run around on my desk. I know Sarah has done the same.
I have a snake wrapped around my neck.
Yes.
yes.
And there's something different about like when you bring these animals in and when you're in the room. I am completely fearless. You want me to hold a scorpion? Absolutely. Tarantula, put it on my head. If you weren't there, I know I would have reservations about doing any of that.
I think it's because you take the fear away.
Well,
you wouldn't give us something to hold if you felt it could hurt us.
Well, maybe. No, trust me. Hold this. It is. I mean, so much of the persona and the confidence, and there's a lot of things involved. But I mean, did I take the fear away? No, it's still there. You just feel comfortable around me and that animal. It doesn't mean, oh, look, there's a scorpion. Drew had one of those. I'm going to go grab it.
Right.
No,
I would
you're
never.
Not. Right. So the fear is there. But what it is the education, because I talk about it. I explain to you all those things before I hand it to you. I don't just say, here. I sit there and say, okay, this is a tarantula and this is what's going to happen. And, there's a kind of little piece of it that makes you go, oh. Or if you're scared of it, I can, explain to you why that animal is so important on our planet. As a species, people hate spiders, and it's the most important animal on our planet for our existence. But when you put it in a whole different perspective, you go, oh, I didn't think of it that way. You can look at it in a different light.
Yeah, you flipped the script on my brain one time because I sent you a photo of a bug that was in my bathroom that I had already killed. Unfortunately, it was one of the scariest looking bugs I've ever seen in my life.
Kill it first, ask questions later.
And I was terrified of it. I sent Mr. Drew a photo of it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they eat earwigs." And then I was like, "I killed it," and he was like, "Well, now you're going to have more earwigs." And I'm more scared of earwigs than I am of that creature that I had already killed. And I was like, "That you need to remember that. Like, never forget that message from Mr. Drew."
And that's the thing. A lot of people's first response is literally kill it.
I was so scared of it.
You look at Maine Wildlife page on social media or whatever, and people post pictures of spiders, and the first response everybody is either kill it or burn your house down. It's like, why?
I would have burned my house down for this bug.
Why do we got to do that? I mean, why can't we say, what is it? Is it important? Why can't we stop first and ask about it? Because everything is here for a reason. It doesn't mean it's deadly or dangerous. That's movies. Movies make those things real. But the truth is, a lot of these creatures have no interest in us whatsoever, so.
Yeah. Outside of human beings, is there any animal or creature that scares you?
Other than the IRS, no. It's a respect. I've learned over 40 years of doing this stuff, 35, 40 years, that, body language, animals talk, and you just have to pay attention. I mean, you all know when a dog is going to bite you. The body language is there. A cat's going to scratch you. The body language is there. So everything talks. You just have to learn that language, and you have to learn what they're telling you, and you can avoid pretty much most things. I get that all the time. Do you get bit a lot? No, I don't, because I'm paying attention. And then there's a certain amount of respect and trust that I have with the animal and the animal has with me. But I also can reach in a cage and say, oh, not today. He's not in the mood.
Yeah.
And that's okay because there's days I'm not in the mood. So it's
There's a mutual respect there.
right. And so I can avoid that. We've been doing this now 15 years. People handling my animals. And I can count on one hand where there was an incident of a bite, and nothing major, just a little nip or whatever. And realistically, it's turtles, the tortoises, because we learned in the beginning, people are feeding our tortoises, and they were feeding, we give them a leaf of kale or collard green, and but they weren't paying attention to where it was. And tortoises can't see right in front of their nose, so the piece gets smaller, and then they're kind of blind. They just know there's food there, and then someone gets bit, and it was like, so we learned, we'll give them feeding sticks, and this way here, no fingers get bit. But that's, most people, snakes and spiders bite. It's like, no, it's the tortoises, and it's because you're not paying attention.
Right.
So, really, in 15 years, because I always tell people, and they feel that nervousness that, I sit there and say, do you think my insurance company would keep me on the thing if I, kept making claims? If they would drop you in a heartbeat, And so we have very, and I train all my staff, and we tell people, trust our handlers because they work with those animals. They know. And even if they have questions, my staff will come to me first thing and say, hey, just want to check, what do you think about, today? He kind of, okay, yeah, leave him alone then. Yeah. It's that simple.
JC, I'm curious what your attitude is towards the creepy crawlies, like
Towards
the
the
snakes
buggies.
and spiders and scorpions.
I get the creepy crawlies from these things. I don't mind if it's like outside and I can walk away, but if it's in my room or in my house, I'm like, all I can think about is when I go to bed tonight, it's going to be crawling on me.
Yeah.
And I will. Like, even if I see it in the middle of the day and forget about it, as soon as I get in bed and I'm closing my eyes to fall asleep, I'm like, it's in the bed with me. I know it. I can feel it walking out my leg, even though it's not. But so, yeah, I try to just get them out of my house. But I do
what if-
also
Stay out of my
kill
house.
them if I have to.
What if you were at Drew's center and he asked if you wanted to hold a scorpion? What do you think would happen there?
Well, from the sounds of it, from what you guys are saying, it sounds like I would get educated, maybe feel comfortable doing it, but also that might be the only time I would feel comfortable doing it, so I probably would do it just to
And that's what's so great
have the
about his
experience,
center.
yeah.
Well, and that's it. It's not about, I'm going to do this all the time now.
Yeah.
But it's an experience. It's a definite experience, and it's a definite understanding of the species. And again, I'm not going to sit there and say I don't kill insects or anything like that. It happens, But it's a better understanding that, I don't really need, it's in the corner up there. I don't need to go after it. It's not hurting anything. It's fine.
I like to leave them alone in the bathroom. The spiders they're just always in the corners in the bathroom.
They like
through
that
the
humidity
wintertime.
and the moisture.
Yeah.
And Well, Maine is brutal for animals. It's so dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people, too.
They gotta go where there's water. I feel like that's why they like the bathroom.
Yeah.
Drew, tell us about your new center.
We moved out to Poland, and it was originally a Family Dollar, so it was a big open store. And in Lewiston, we had a retail center, that was within the whole education center, but now it's its own separate space. So when you come, you have two entrances if you're buying food for your animals or if you're coming to see the animals. It's 10,000 square feet. We have, the walk-in tortoise pens. Everything is set up by sections, and we have signs on the ceiling because, we do have a lot of people coming who are coming because of their children or grandchildren or whatever that are scared. So we kind of made it easy for everybody to say, that's where the snakes are. I don't want to be there, or I'll take a wide berth. There's plenty of room for people to move around so they don't have to be in the midst of it. There's even areas you could sit away from it and not see any of it. Everything is set up in sections, so we have a lizard section, a snake section, an amphibian and arachnid section, and the aquatic section. So there's all these different things. We have the geology area. We have now 2 party rooms. We only had one in Lewiston. It was small. We have 2 good-sized party rooms now. We have one of the party corral, or the corral we call it. It's right in the center of everything, and it's got 4-foot-high walls, so you can look over. But it's in the middle of it all, and kids come and go out of there. Then we have a private community room that they can use if they want a more private kind of party that's not having total strangers looking over going, what do they got for food? You know? But yeah, everything is hands-on if you so choose. Well, not everything. There's a few things we won't let you hold. But everything, for the most part, the experience is hands-on. We have a sensory area, which has, kinetic sand and Legos and Hot Wheels. And so, because you sometimes get a family that one kid just doesn't, it's not their cup of chowder. Yeah. And so it gives them something to do. And we have a quiet room, or a mother's room, quiet room we call it, with a beautiful mural in there. In this small room, it was originally their office. And we were like, well, what are we going to do with this? And it's like, do we make an office? And it's like, no, I like being out in the open. I don't like hiding behind walls. And so we decided to make it a privacy room, or a mother's room. Like a mother needs to, wants to breastfeed, but she wants to be private. Or a child who might be on the spectrum needs to decompress because there's a lot to see and they can get overstimulated. So it's a quiet space that they can go sit, read books. There's little fidget things in there. It's just a little thing that we realized, over the years of doing that, wouldn't it be nice if we could do that? And now we can. And so we have those quiet places. We tell people, bring your lunch in. If you're coming during the week to visit, make a picnic out of it. Have fun. Or we'll recommend the area, what's in the area. And the area is wonderful for us. It's a good fit. Route 26 has a lot to offer, and it's a good tie-in for us because of the nature, that's in the area. I mean, there's a Maine Wildlife Park. There's Poland Mining Camp. There's Dig Maine Gems on Route 26. The Bethel Gem and Mineral Museum. Boy, that was a mouthful for me. Talk about them all the time. But anyhow, there in Bethel, it's a world-class museum. If you're into rocks and stuff like that, it's an amazing, amazing museum. And they have the world's largest meteorite collection. It's crazy. It's like here in Bethel, Maine. And the nice thing is they've reached out to work with us because their clientele's older. My clientele's younger. My clientele's going to grow up to be older. And, they realize that, there's an importance of working with him. And, Cindy Robbins has been wonderful at the Poland Springs Preserve, helping us and supporting us. And, all the businesses have been wonderful, just right there to help us and welcome us to Poland. And it's been very much family. I feel very comfortable there. It is different, because Lewiston, we were much busier in the winter and quiet in the summer. Poland was going to be the opposite because there's so many campgrounds and summer camps and things like that will really benefit us. Skiers don't benefit us because their focus is getting to the mountain to ski, spend as much time at the mountain as they can, and leave as late as they can. And by the time they leave, we're already closed. So they're not going to, in the middle of the day, hey, kids, let's stop and go see Mr. Drew. Nope, they're at the mountain. They're there for the day.
There's so much to do in Poland.
There really is. And a lot of people, when we moved, some people, oh, you're further away. Or, some people, yeah, you're closer. But, no matter where I would have moved, that would have been the case. We had 8 towns reach out to us.
Oh, wow.
So it wouldn't matter where we moved. But the thing is, Poland is not that. People treat it like you're going to the country, Poland.
Not that far.
It's like 20 minutes from where I was. So it's not that far. But again, it's kind of 26 is a little bit of a different route out of the way. It's not. But it's a beautiful drive. The views of the mountains, the western mountains of Maine, it's very placid just driving there because it's very wooded, but there's a lot. The town has a lot of little things to do, and you can easily make a day. We're looking forward to summertime. Hey, it's hot out. We're air conditioned. Bring your swimsuits and visit Rang Pond.
Yeah.
And make it a full fit. And, go to the Maine Wildlife Park with your kids and then come see us. If your kids love animals, wow, you can really make a good day of it. And there's restaurants in between. Stop, eat, come see us.
And today is a Mellow Monday.
Yes.
What's that mean?
Mellow Monday is, Mondays were quiet, and we wanted to, take advantage of. We have a lot of field trips come in, school groups, homeschools, stuff like that, and we decided that we were not going to book anybody on Mondays. We're going to leave because we can have 200 kids there, and it's very overwhelming. So we decided Monday was typically our quieter day, and so what we did is we realized there's special needs adults, special needs children, families who have children on the spectrum that they would always say, "Oh, we'd love to go to that event, or we'd love to go on the weekend, but it's just too much for my child or adult that's in our family." And so, they would explain this, and so I said, "What if we just make Monday?" It's not saying that you can't come in, but we're not scheduling any big groups, so it is typically quieter. It's more manageable. For families who have people who are get sensory overload or have special needs that just can't deal with crowds. So it gives them a chance, and everything we have is set up with that in mind. Even in our mind, some people just being surrounded by other people in a 2,000 pounds of sand is overwhelming. So we have an able table that you're back to everybody, and it's just what's in front of you. And so, we try to keep that in mind that, everybody has different needs. And everybody has special needs. I have special needs. We all do. With the world the way it is, and let's drop every DEI program, I'm still going to be inclusive because, it's important. The people need what they need, and I don't want to exempt anybody from an experience that's positive.
Did you ever have an animal or animals at your center that you grew really attached to?
I mean, yes and no. I've been doing this a long time. Because I started out in the pet industry, and, your job is to sell animals, so you just don't get attached. And then I've done a lot of work with animals where you have to euthanize them, and so you learn to turn off those emotions. So at this point in life, I just kind of I respect everyone, I love everyone, but I've learned to just put that aside and say, this is not what we're doing here.
On the flip side of that, was there ever an animal where you're like, wow, that guy's a real...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
More than not.
You're like, I have to be respectful of all these animals.
Some of them.
This guy.
But the thing is, too, we at my center, the tanks. If you're walking through, and it's for my staff or volunteers, but on the tanks are those little colored circle stickers that you would use like at a tag sale or garage sale, or whatever. Yeah. You'd put the price on it, and they're different colors. Well, we have green, yellow, and red. And it's like a traffic light.
Yeah.
So green means go. Doesn't mean it won't bite you.
Just means
but I mean, generally speaking, this animal is fine. If it bites, there's a reason. But I mean, generally speaking, you can safely take this animal out. Then there's yellow. It's caution. Caution doesn't mean anything other than, it could pee on you. I don't know. This thing tends to pee a lot, It could be that it's fast. It could be it's temperamental. Sometimes it nips. Sometimes it doesn't. It's hit or miss. But there's a caution. So it makes you stop. And then red is stop.
Don't touch this guy.
Well, it does. Yeah, but it doesn't mean it's going to bite. Like all my frogs are red. And it's stop because you might have something on your hands that could hurt them.
Oh.
Hand sanitizer. If you just put sanitizer on and you grab a frog, you could burn their flesh.
Aww.
They breathe through their skin. So it's for you to, so if we have new members, why is this red? It makes them ask the question.
Yeah.
Why is this one red? Most of the time they're thinking it's going to bite. It's not always the case. But sometimes it is. Sometimes it's like, oh, no, he's a jerk.
He's a real jerk.
He thinks everything is food. He will bite you. 100. And so sometimes I'll use the reds because I'll have those people go, like with the snakes. Oh, they bite all the time. No, they don't. They don't. You got all these kids holding them. We've got 50 kids right here. They're all holding. No one's getting bit. But let me show you one that will. And I go in the cage and I stick my hand in there and he bites me. And they're like, and the snake's got me and wraps around and is holding on. And I'm sitting there talking to them very casually. And they're like, doesn't that? And it's like, no, it doesn't hurt at all. A cat or a dog hurts more. Yeah. And once he realizes I'm not food, he's going to let go. And sure enough, he lets go and goes back into his cage. And I just take a paper towel, wipe it up, and there's like nothing there. It's just little pinpricks. And they're like, that's it? It's like, yeah. That's it.
One of the things I've always respected about you, Drew, is that there is zero judgment when you have people come into your center who have legitimate fears of some of the animals that are in your center. You're not forcing these animals on these people. You're educating them. And if someone comes in who's terrified of snakes, like my wife did, and 10 minutes later, she's wearing a snake for a necklace. Not everyone is like that, but you worked with her. You talked about her fears, you educated her about the snake, and she felt 100% comfortable touching it, holding it, and putting it on herself.
And again, she's not going to run out and grab one in the yard and say, look at me, I'm Britney Spears. Right. But it is...
you don't know that.
Okay, you're right. But, and if I did, kudos to me. But we're all scared of something. I mean, I would be a liar to say if I was never scared. I was, but I learned. And the more you learn, the less scared you're going to be. And that's my focus. And again, if we can help you overcome that, because fear is painful. When you are your heart rate accelerates, you clench your fist so much that your fingernails are digging into your skin, you feel like you're going to pass out. It's like, why do you want to share that with your children? Why do you want, no one likes feeling like that. Right. And if I can take that little thing away, even if it's for a moment, that, okay, now I can see it on TV and not freak out. That's a big thing. Yeah. And that's it. I mean, we're all scared. Yeah. At any given point, any point of the day, we're scared of something. We all are. I just hope I can help a little bit and make you one less thing to be scared about. There's real things out there to be scared about. And but that snake or that spider isn't it.
Correct me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like your goal is not to get people who are afraid of these animals to hold them and to touch them. Your goal is to educate them.
Correct.
And if the byproduct is them interacting with these animals in a physical way, then all the better.
Correct. We're never going to make you. If you don't want to, you don't have to. We're not there to do that. And like I said, the setup of our facility is so that you can observe at a comfortable level or space, not feel like you're right there. And sometimes it's just that exposure therapy. It's just seeing it in other people doing it and coming to the conclusion, okay, the logic is, well, they're doing it. He wouldn't be here doing this if kids were going to get bit. Right. So it's a slow process. And some people, they'll leave still not doing it, but they'll come back another time. And they had time to process. And that's the thing is there's no rush because everybody processes things differently. It's like if you're a smoker. If I sit there and badger someone, you got to quit smoking. Smoking is bad for you. They know that. And the more you pressure them, the more they're going to be like, shut up,
Leave me alone.
Leave me out. Yeah. But when they're ready mentally, they're going to quit. And, no amount of badgering is going to do it. And it's the same thing with this. You have to be ready to say, I want to, or I'm ready to. And if you're not, you're not. And that's okay. It's okay not to,
right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else about your center that you would like our listeners to know before we move on to the final segment?
Yeah, we're not far away at all. We're closer than you think. And, this weekend's going to be a big shindig. We're really excited about that. There's going to be a lot going on just between those 2 days. And we'd love to have you come out and check us out and see what we're about.
Mr. Drew and his animals, too, where natural science meets community at 1395 Main Street in Poland. You can find them on Facebook. Mr. Drew is very active on Facebook. So check
I just found your Amazon wish list on Facebook.
Yeah.
Did you mention that?
No, I didn't.
You should.
Well, I mean, I also should mention, we're on TikTok and we're on, we have a YouTube channel now that we didn't have before. Actually, I'm leaving here to go do some YouTube videos. I have a marketing guy who's very good at doing the videos, and he approached us, Caitlin Creations, and George does a wonderful job because I'm of that generation that. I don't handle the TikTok page because I don't understand it.
Yeah, you might break it.
I have the app recently because Silas, my son, takes care of it, and I just look at what Silas. I do not go on TikTok to look at anything other than what the content that he has created. It's the same thing. Like I have YouTube now, but I wouldn't be doing YouTube if it wasn't George, and he's doing all the editing and stuff. I'm just Ronald McDonald going, "Hi, kids." I have everybody else do the work for me. So.
Dirigo Federal Credit Union is proud to call Lewiston Auburn home. Whether you're buying a house, saving for the future, or growing your business, we're here for you, right where you live. Visit dirigofcu.com and feel the difference of a credit union that truly knows LA.
Drew, as you know, our final segment is called 3 Random Questions, where we're going to ask you questions that have nothing to do with your profession. We're just trying to get to know you a little better as a member of our community. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All righty. I'll start.
Blue.
Drew, if you were presented with a time machine, you could take one round trip to the past, to the future. Where would you go and why?
Oh, I know automatically. I would go back into time to when the Bible was being first written, and I would go where they put the Garden of Eden, right? Into the Garden of Eden, Satan took the form of a serpent. And subconsciously for people, if Satan is evil, serpents are evil. I would go back and change that to Satan took the form of a rabbit. And then I would come back and see what Easter's like.
All right. I like how specific you are. You gave this question some thought.
I've always thought about if I could go back in time and change one thing. That would be it, just for the fun of it. Just
All right.
what's it like now? Kids, look, the Easter steak came. Yay! He pooped out some beautiful colored eggs.
All right, JC, what do you got?
If you could be any age for the rest of your life, which age would you choose?
Now. Right now.
right here.
A lot of people, I wish I could go back in time to when I was 18. No, I was a raging alcoholic. I'm at probably the best point in my life that I've ever been. I have stability. Not necessarily financial, but I don't care about money. But I have a wonderful family. I have this world we've created. I often say to people, I cannot control what happens in Washington, D.C. I cannot control what happens in Augusta, but I can control my world. And it's a beautiful world. And I've never had that. As an alcoholic, you're just making it up day by day, and you're struggling, and you're at rock bottom, and you dig deeper, And now I get to dig for rocks, but it's in a good way. And so I would say now I'm okay. My health is good. Knock on wood. I mean, this is the golden years. When I was younger, you learn a lot, sure, through your mistakes. And I definitely learned, but that's the past and it's done. I've learned, now I'm moving forward. But this is a good point. There's been a lot of struggles, but I've learned how to deal with those struggles. At a different time, it would have been like, we'll just drink this problem away, or I would have got angry about it. And now it's like, no. We have to move 400 cages, and we got 30 days to do it, or 90 days to do it. Let's do it. So.
All right, final question. When you were a kid, what was the name of your favorite stuffed animal, and what was it?
I didn't have one that I recall. No.
No?
No. I had a lot of plastic animals, like little dinosaurs and things. But I don't recall ever having a stuffed animal.
Interesting.
I don't recall that. I was very much into the plastic little. I'd carry Hot Wheels around with me, and I would, my mother said I always had something in my hands, but they were always, little dinosaurs or little, and, I didn't name them. Because they had names. That's Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't need to name it. Bob. No, it's the T-Rex. And so I was more like, what's their proper name? So, but I don't recall ever having, stuffy. There was nothing.
Yeah.
I can remember my children's stuffies. More than I don't, like I said, I can remember a lot of things, but never a stuffy.
And yet here you are with all these animals.
Yeah. Well, I was more focused on the real ones.
I guess so.
Stuffy, get that away from me.
I'm picking up frogs.
Yeah.
Drew, it's always a pleasure. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you for having me back.
We certainly appreciate you. Thanks to Ruper's Beverage and Redemption for sponsoring today's episode. And if you'd like to be part of the Lydia's Lunch Bunch advertising family, reach out to Pam Ashby via email at pam@lydiamediallc.com. Tomorrow we have LA Metro Chamber President and CEO Shanna Cox live in studio. So be sure to join us for that.
Have a great day. And remember, don't bite your cat. And I will say I have bitten my cat.